Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Mixed Media, and this is Darcy. This is the process video part 2. This is the birds. The birds part. I had if you want to see how I made the base, the canvas piece that is in a previous video. I'll try to remember to link the video underneath. I'm going through my gel plate prints here and just kind of cutting them down to the size that I want them to be. I kind of guesstimated how big like the largest bird would be, and I'm just kind of going through and getting some interesting pieces that will be the bird's body or the bird's belly. So unfortunately I have lots to choose from. Yeah, some of these I might not end up using, but I had some good ones to choose from. I had lots to choose from. And most of these gel plate prints were by me. There were a couple that were from Patricia at PM Artist Studio. So thank you for Patricia for being part of my project. In fact, the upside down bird, the base of the bird is one of her prints. So if you've seen the ending, you know what the upside down bird was. So now I'm putting them all out and trying to figure out, you know, which part I want the body to be, which part I want the belly to be. And because when I cut them out at the same time so that I get a similar shape, and then I just cut the belly down, which you'll see when I get to that part. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope y'all were able to catch all the people in the hop. If not, check out #MakersCreativeCollab, and you will find all the people who have hashtagged it. And there were a lot of really interesting creates and makes this month. Our theme was collect and create, and I obviously have quite a few jelly plate prints that I've collected, so I figured those were good. And I have stamps and I have stencils, and so I've just kind of used them in this project. And it was fun to do a canvas project this month, something a little different. Generally I do journals, but not always. I mean, the name of my channel is Darcy's Mixed Media. Oh, there's a print by Patricia. I decided I want to get that one in there. Well, apparently I hadn't decided yet, but I do eventually decide that I want that one in there. There's a brown one in there that is her too. I'm trying to get a basic shape of that I want, but really I just kind of like wing it the rest of the time. And did I turn the paper around? I don't know. And then I just kind of figure out how I want to do my belly. And I do change them a little bit. Oh, that brown piece right there, that was also from Patricia. That was in the 3,000 subscriber giveaway. She had some jelly plate or painty papers that were kind of they were about that size that I started out with. So that's kind of how I determined my size. So yep, I'm just kind of going with the flow, just fairly intuitively. I mean, my birds are not perfect. They're a little bit on the wonky side. I'm okay with that. And I like the little grungy colors. There's some oranges and browns and teals. And that's kind of what I liked. And the one in the middle was 1, 2, 3. The fourth one from the left has a bloopy loops for his belly. So a lot of the stencils I use are from PM Artist Studio. Not all of them, but you know, I just really like their stencils. They're unique. So if you want to check out pmartiststudio.com, that's where you'll find them, pmartiststudio.com. And I have to find my coupon code to share. I do have a coupon code that I could share with you guys. I'll try to put it in the description box one of these days. So now I am going to go ahead and refine my birds. Okay, so I decided that yes, I definitely... Oh, I remembered I have to do the tail. So now I'm having to go back through and find all my pieces to get the tails. So I'm just kind of like cutting freehand. So this will be... All the birds have the same color beak. Got the beak from that. And cutting down that, I decided I wanted the belly to be a little smaller. And... Yep, all the tails are different. Now, doing a little stamping. If you saw the video where I showed the final project, then you kind of saw where my inspiration came from and the idea and the to do them grungy instead of like pretty. And I really like them. They're up in my living room now on my wall. So I've got all my organized, sort of organized stamps. I kind of organized my stamps last week. So I've got the ones I don't use as much all in envelopes and folders and whatnot. And then I have this little drawer thing. And so I've got all my script stamps in the top drawer, a bunch of mixed media ones in the middle drawer, and then those Tim Holtz ones that are in that top left corner are in the bottom drawer. And so I can just pull them out. Those are the ones I use the most. So it makes sense for me to have easy access to them. So on the belly, the little stamping on his tail, a little stamping on his body, a little stamping on his belly, and then just kind of drawing his eyes. And eventually I try to use, I don't know why, but I attempt to use the, I couldn't find my white gel pen, so I'm like trying to use the white out. It was not working, so I gave up on trying to put the whites in their eyes until at the end when I find the white gel pen. The Signo white gel pen works way better than a, what did I just say that was called? Words are hard, people. I don't know. Adding a little doodling, erase the white out. That's what it was called, white out. Oh my goodness. So adding a little to his tail, just setting him aside. Now doing the next bird. So just kind of making almost like egg shapes. Some of them have a more defined head shape, but most of them are basically egg shapes. And then that one, I wanted the Celtic stencil to be rounded at the top for his belly. Just putting some script stamp on there. Cutting that out to be more of the shape I want. What do I do for his tail? Cut his beak. Oh, I think I did his skinny ones, right? Yep, I did little skinny feathers coming out. Just because I didn't have as much to work with. So I was like, oh, I'll just do skinny ones. Actually, it's random. It's pretty intuitive when I do this. I just do it. I don't really think a lot about it. I just kind of have fun with it. And, yeah, so they all have different tails. It was fun to figure out the tail for everybody. When we get to it, I'll tell you which one was my son's. He had actually, my 26-year-old, he actually had a favorite tail. And I'm distressing them too, because, you know, they're grungy. Gotta have a little distress happening. If you want to skip through, you can, or if you just kind of want to see, you know, each bird. This is a process video of each and every bird, and there are 7 birds. So this part, you know, it goes a little, it's a little longer. But I really had fun making the birds. I might do a journal. That might be fun to do a journal of these birds. Just kind of have a bird throughout the journal. That would be fun. And, or I could even, do a digital if I only use my gel plate prints and my mark making and not like, you know, anything copyrighted. Like some things aren't, his tail goes off to the left a little bit. That's okay, he's cute. I'm just adding some mark making on him. Alright, now he's got a little orangey, a little orange. That one actually, his belly I think is inked. So they're mostly jelly plate prints, and then there's one that was ink. Sprays, distress spray stains. Oh, I love a houndstooth. Also, it's a common pattern, so guess what? It's not copyrighted. So I can use that one if I were to make digitals. I don't know. I don't know that people would want to buy the digitals if I made the birds. They're kind of cute though. So I hope everybody's doing well. Did I already ask that in this video? I might have, because the last video was so short that I didn't even get to. Oh, this is the tail my son likes the most, and all I did was rip it. The last one went so fast I didn't even get to ask how you guys were doing. Have you guys been liking this series? This is a monthly series that PM Artist Studio does, the Hashtag Makers Creative Collab. If you haven't started watching Patricia and Mariah, they were just really fun. Even if you're like just not really into the mixed media as much, they're just really fun. I mean, and you know, You may end up being more into mixed media. But they do journals and accordion books, and Mariah's where I learned how to do that flag journal that I did a couple months back. And I just really enjoy them. Consider them good friends now. So, yeah, you'll hear me talk about them sometimes. Sometimes I might be obsessed with them. So this little bird, I like this little bird. I like the tail too, and I kind of wish I had torn. I wanted all the tails to be different. I was kind of afraid if I tore more that they look too much alike. So now we have the bloopy loops. I love that bloopy loop stamp. In the background there, the bird with my gel plate print. That was from the experiment from last month's. May was Bring on the Blooms, and I did a lot of experimenting on the gel plate, trying to get some fractals and stuff, but there was a lot of in between stuff. And so, behind the bloopy loops there is one of those. And then I used the bloopy loops for the shape of the tail. I just kind of followed them to make that tail, so I thought that was kind of cute. So that one was a little different because the other ones I used the body color to do the tail, and this one I used the belly color to do the tail. Got a little bit of circles going on there with the Tim Holtz stamp, and a little bit more stamping here or there. Oh, that's a flower one I like to use. I got a thrift store, and then I often, if I have a wood stamp, I very often just take it off the wood piece, and so I can have more stamps with less space. That one, I like that one, but the shape of them, the one with the bloopy loops, the shape of them wasn't quite right. All right, this one was like, I was like, I'm a genius. Because I cut off his head, and he was too tall, so I cut off the top part. And then I was like, oh, look, that makes a perfect tail. So I'm not genius, but I really like that. I got a whole different type of tail out of him just by cutting off, making him shorter. I just didn't like the way the top of him was shaped, and I had a lot of tall ones. I needed some short ones. We need some variety. That's why God made us all short and tall and fat and thin, for variety. We would get so bored if everyone looked the same and everyone's body shape was exactly the same. Embrace your shape, embrace your size, embrace your height, embrace yourself. Give yourself a big hug. You're awesome. And I appreciate you just for being here. I mean, if you're still here watching me make all these little birds, hey, which one are we on? I think we're on maybe number 6, maybe? Got one more left after this? I don't know. Can you tell I like teal? And this one had a flower on it already for the belly, and I was like, yay. Yeah, sometimes it is hard to figure out, oh, that one's got the background. That was from Patricia. And then how did I do the tail this time? I think I followed there was kind of some flourishes on that stamp on the stencil or impression plate or whatever I had used on that gel plate. And so I just kind of followed it, and that's how I got that shaped tail. It's pretty random how I got shapes of tails, and some of the birds have big bellies and some of the birds have smaller bellies, and I don't know. I just had fun. I just went through and made them. Oh, the part that was not so fun was the feet, and I don't think I recorded the feet. I hope not, because I don't want to have to sit through that. But for the feet, I have a punch for a maple leaf, and so I used that paper, that brown that was from Patricia, and I just punched out a bunch of the maple leaves and then cut some of the bits off to make them look a little bit more like bird feet. Because there was no way that I was going to cut out a bunch of tiny little bird feet. It would have driven me, even what I did drove me half insane. I would have been all the way insane if I had tried using the bird feet. So yeah. That one looks like an avocado. And then I think I said so in the other thing, but I actually used a piece of wire to put the birds on. Oh, I do, and I'll show you how. I'll show you how I attached it too. I like this gel plate print. It's bubble wrap. That's all that one was made with. So I got his tail, and If I knew where my art glitter glue I would have used that, but I didn't, so I used the Fabri-Tac. But you don't have to use Fabri-Tac. You could use art glitter glue or a good tacky glue, or you know, any kind of glue that's gonna keep it on there. Doing a little doodling, a little outlining. I like when their tails go off to the side a little bit, I think. I'm not a tail straight down kind of person. I'm like, we're just birds on a wire, just, you know, putting our tail back and forth. Okay, so takes me a couple tries to do this because I get it in the wrong place the first time. But I just took the wire and stapled it on one end, and then it took me a few times. Stapler did not want to go in there good. So the first time I did it, I tied the wire around to stay on, and then this time the second time I left it loose so I could tighten it at the end. And I'm just checking to make sure it's the right height, which, oh, I think I don't think I recorded the part I messed up, thankfully. Lucky for you. Now I'm just trying to get them in the order that I like. I don't know. This is like the most fiddly part of the whole bit, probably. Maybe not. Maybe this is, I don't know. It felt fiddly at the time. Maybe it's not as fiddly as I thought it was. So I just start gluing them down, because if I don't start gluing them down, they're never going to get glued down. Oh, good. You didn't have to. See, fiddly. I'm fiddling around with them. Like, where do I want them? I don't want two short ones right next to each other. Heaven forbid. There I am. So you do get to see a little bit of how I took the maple leaf and just cut some bits off to make their feet. And then good, I did not make you watch the whole thing. So here's the finished project. I hope you enjoyed the process and the project. Have a delightful day, guys. Love you.